You want to know how to do a good audio podcast? Well, you've come to the right place. Aten just launched its new audio product line, and today we're going to have an audio mixer with us, the Aten UC8000. Today we're going to do the unboxing of the product, then I'm going to show you what other equipment you should have in order to do a professional podcast. Then I'm going to show you how to connect them and to actually work with UC8000, what are its features and how to mix them in order to obtain the best product and the best quality podcast you can. So let's see what other equipment we need to make this a functional podcast. First, we have 3 audio inputs on the device, so obviously we need to prepare 3 input sources. 2 sources will be regular XLR microphones. We obviously need 2 cables for them, these 2. The third source, I'm going to be using a 3.5mm jack from a laptop. This is the laptop that's going to be producing my third source, and I'm going to be using its 3.5mm output to put as an input in my device. Obviously, we need a 3.5mm to 3.5mm cable. This is it. We're going to place it here. On the side of the product, we have the outputs. These are regular 3.5mm jacks. So for this, you just need a regular headset, like this one. We're going to place it here. Also, as a mixed port, both input and output, we have a USB-C port. For this, we will have the output here, so we need a laptop with recording software, and also it will be great to have the Aten software that will allow us to manage easily the product. We don't necessarily need it, but it's going to be much easier if you have it. So I have prepared the laptop. We have the software that we can control remotely the device, and also we have recording softwares here. Let's place it here. Now we have everything we need in terms of product. Let's see how we can connect to our UC8000. We will start first with the audio input sources. Thus, we start with the microphones. In position 1, we're going to put the microphone on the tripod. Position 2, we're going to have this microphone, which we're going to leave it loose on the table. The third audio input source is going to be our laptop on the 3.5mm cable. Now let's connect the output of this device. We will start first on the side with the 3.5mm jack. This means we are going to connect our headset. Let's connect it on monitor 1. And last but not least, we're going to connect the USB-C laptop. This is going to be our next output. And also via USB-C, the device is going to be powered. We are going to wait for the device to boot now. After booting, we're going to see how to use all the devices that we have connected, both the inputs and the outputs. Now, let's see the layout. And let's see how we can use UC8000 to make a great podcast. First, because we connected the inputs, let's go to microphone number 1. And we need to adjust the volume, both to the microphone and the volume that I'm hearing in my headsets. In order to adjust the volume of the microphone, I have this knob, and I can reduce the volume. And I also need to press this 48 volt because this is not a dynamic microphone, so it does not produce its own energy. And I need to give it via the podcast mixer. I also have the possibility to mute. And also I can enhance the voice with the help of the AI, the artificial intelligence. And when I'm pressing the AI, you can feel a difference in my voice. Let's do this in the recording. So I'm starting the recording on the computer. This is the voice with AI, and this is the voice without the AI. Let's keep the AI on. Now, I said that we are recording on the computer. That is because the on-air button is pressed. It means that I'm actually outputting everything that I'm doing here, the mixture, the effects that we're going to put later on, etc., etc. Now I'm adjusting the volume, and it seems to be quite okay at this level that we are right now. Let's move to microphone number 2. Okay, so we are now on microphone number 2. Again, I can adjust it, and I see that right now I'm on red, which means I can hear some distortions. It's pretty annoying, so I want to go back a little bit. Also, I can adjust the level that I'm hearing in my headsets. I can adjust monitor number 1, which I'm currently connected, or monitor number 2. Now monitor number 2 is usually for my guest, and I will give my guest a headset. Right now I don't have one, so I'm not going to modify this one, but actually I'm going to work on this one. So I'm going to enhance the volume a little bit. Yeah, this is perfect. Since we are on microphone number 2, I want to enable AI on this one as well. I'm pressing AI, and as you can see, this effects keypad, it starts blinking in sequence. That means the AI is analyzing. I need to keep speaking while this process is taking place so the AI can analyze me better. Now the process ended, the AI button is green, so right now we are enhanced by the AI. On this input, I can add some really cool effects. Hear this out. This is the pitch effect, and using this knob I can change the pitch effect. Okay, I can speak with a lower pitch or with a higher pitch. I can go to reverb. This is the reverb effect, and it's added. If I want to cancel it, even if the button is on, I need to return the knob to its lower position.
Let's go with a deeper voice. Okay, this is a male deeper voice, much like the one you hear on anonymous interviews.
Also, I can go with a female voice. It's much funny. Probably we want to do karaoke on this one. It will sound really, really amusing. Let's
cancel all the modifier of the voices. So now we return to normal voice. Again, I can mute this one and move to another input. Let's do this now. Let's move to input number 3. And if you remember, it's actually coming from my laptop. But let's mute this microphone first. Okay, so now we are on input number 3. I'm going to unmute it, and you can hear the audio track that is playing on that laptop right now. I have enhanced the volume a little bit as the volume was quite low. Great, now we can mix and match. So on top of the music that is already playing, I can unmute, let's say, microphone number 2. And also, to make it funnier,
I can add this female effect voice. So now we have all audios mixed, actually 2 and 3, but again, I can unmute 1 and somebody can talk to the microphone and we will all hear each other. Let's close this one.
Perfect. We also have another feature that's called duck. Duck means we are hearing the music on the background, and I would like, when I'm speaking to the microphone, right now I'm not doing it because it's on mute, but when I'm speaking in the microphone, I would like the music to lower a little bit the volume, and I want the equipment to do this automatically. So I'm pressing the duck button.
I'm unmuting Microsoft number 2, and now as you can hear on the background, the music is playing at a very low volume. As soon as I'm not speaking, the music catches up in volume to the previous one.
Okay, so that concludes the layout that we are seeing here. We have only one more feature that I want to show to you, and this is the effect. There are some pre-recorded effects here on the device. First, let's mute input number 3. Great, so we have canceled this, and also the duck button, which makes no sense right now because input number 3 is muted. So let's add some effects that sometimes you would like to add during a podcast. Let's add the upload effect. Let's say that I did something great. Yeah, that's right. I'm uploading myself, and I'm not very proud of it, but sometimes you want to do it. And also you have other jingles. You have some background music, maybe some transition between scenes that you want to do, and other effects. If you do not like any of these effects, or if you want to modify some of these effects with your own, it's very simple to do. Let's say I want to modify preset number 7. I'm pressing the button. Right now it's on yellow. Next time I'm pressing it, I can record the jingle that I want, or I can record anything that I want with the microphone that I'm currently talking to, like microphone number 2. Let's record something on the spot. This is a new jingle. It's a more serious one. All right, so this phrase is going to be used now in button number 7. This is a new jingle. It's a more serious one. Yeah, I can actually add my own jingles, and of course you can pre-record anything that you want, and it will be available. You have between 20 and 40 seconds of recording per each button. Button number 1 is 40 and the rest is 20 seconds. That concludes the presentation of what you can do with the button layout, physical button layout that you have on the UC8000. Now, let's see what you can do with the interface, the graphical interface that is present on the PC, on the laptop. Now let me introduce you to the graphical user interface of this product. It does not exist directly on the product. It exists as a program that you download and install on your Mac OS or your Windows computer. First of all, from where you can download it. If you go to the Aten site and you go to support and downloads here, and then you go lower, you have software and drivers, and you have the Windows 10 on-air audio that you need to download. It's just an executable file, and once you double-click it, you get this graphical user interface. Basically, it's everything that you have as a physical buttons, but now you can control it from your computer if the actual device is too far away or too cumbersome to use. Sometimes the physical device is not put in plain sight, cannot be physically present here. It should be hidden from view, so it makes sense to use instead the graphical user interface. What we have here is a reproduction of the physical buttons. Basically, we have the microphone, number 1, number 2, and our input number 3. I can, for instance, unmute it. So let's start a new recording to see what happens. So let's unmute. Now you can hear the music, because basically what we did is replicating this one, the physical button layout. We can add the applause, for instance, or the clap effect if you want it. But also we have new features on the graphical user interface. If we go to settings, if you remember, we only have 4 presets that are physically available with buttons. We have the pitch, we have the reverb, we have the male, and we have the female. But here we have 2 more, preset number 5 and preset number 6, which means we can add more effects. So for instance, we can go to preset number 5. We should give it another color that is not present here, for instance, purple. And now we can play with new features. We can play with the equalizer. We can add filters, for instance. We can even add the effects that we already have. We can add a mixture of, let's say, pitch and reverb. So we can add these two. And let's move reverb to a little bit a higher volume. And then we can apply it. And now, if we press the mode button, we have this pink color, which we did not have it in the past. And let me talk. Okay, so this is how I'm hearing myself with all the effects enabled and the way I play with the equalizer. Okay, this is a new effect that you created on your own taste. That being said, I would like to thank you for participating in the overview of UC8000. This is the product itself, what the equipment you need for a perfect or a close to perfect podcast. This is how you connect them, and this is how you play with the buttons to work in your favor. Thank you very much on being here on Aten channel. Hope I will see you more often when more videos are uploaded.